What is going on, my dummies, and welcome back to another Digimon Deck Tech. It's the last one for 1.0, guys. This one is Hercules Kabuterimon, and I know a bunch of you have been asking for it. It's the last one I'm going to do. And then I got to start on 1.5 because there's no other decks I can do currently. So I'm going to leave a link in the description of the set 1.0 decks if you missed one or if you're looking for a different one. Definitely go down there. Check out the playlist. I've got all the set 1.0 stuff there. But without further ado, I'm going to get started on it. So our first one that we'll be playing is Tanemon. Tanemon says whenever we attack, or if we Digivolve this turn, we get plus 1,000 power. I don't like the Tanemon much. If you watch my other videos, you know I don't like Tanemon very much because it's a one-time only ability. But moving forward, we have a 4 of a Frimon. Frimon says during our turn, if our opponent has 2 or more suspended Digimon in play, we gain plus 2,000 power. I like that one more because it's going to happen a lot more for us. And it's a lot bigger of a boost. So we like the Frimon being able to do that. Moving forward, we have our level 3s. We have Goblimon. He is a 2 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 3,000 DP vanilla Digimon. Just all-around good card. We want to play vanilla so we can cheaply go into our big bad boss guy, which is Hercules Kabuterimon in this place. Next up, we have Palmon, 3 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 1,000 DP. We're probably going to be playing her instead of Digivolving into her, but in some cases we do have to Digivolve into her. Her ability says, on play, we reveal the top 3 cards of our deck. We put a level 4 Digimon from among them to our hand, put the rest of them on the bottom in any order. This keeps us being able to keep card advantage and being able to cheaply go into the options that we need to go into. Next up is our final level 3. It is Agumon. It is 3 to play normally, 0 to evolve, 1,000 DP. Inheritable skill says during our turn, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 power. This makes our Hercules Kabuterimon a little bit more scary than he normally would be because he doesn't have a lot of power. We want to be able to get him as thick as possible because he is going to be attacking our opponent's Digimon as much as possible. Moving forward, we're looking at our level 4s. The first one is Woodmon. He's 5 to play normally, 2 to evolve, 6,000 DP. He's our blocker. When we attack with him, we lose 2 memory. Just generic. Nothing too fancy about him. Keeping on, we have Kabuterimon. He's 6 to play normally, 1 to evolve, 5,000 DP. His inheritable skill says this Digimon gets 1,000 DP for every suspended Digimon the opponent has. So if our opponent is going wide, we get bigger, and that allows us to keep doing what we're trying to do. Our final level 4 is Togemon at 6 to play normally, 2 to evolve, 5,000 DP. We will be Digivolving into this because it does have a Digivolution skill. We reveal the top 5 cards, or top 3, not 5, cards of our deck. We add 1 level 5 or higher Digimon from among them to our hand. We place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. This helps us get to our Hercules Kabuterimon or our MegaKabuterimon or our Okuwamon. This helps us get the combo that we need for late game. So yeah, Togemon definitely a good one. Moving forward, we play 4 MegaKabuterimon. 7 to play normally, 2 to evolve, 6,000 DP. It says, when we attack, if our opponent has 2 or more suspended Digimon, we gain plus 1 memory. It's not as good as a Okuwamon, but it is still a really good option, and we want to be able to have that option for Hercules Kabuterimon, because Hercules Kabuterimon is going to attack a bunch of times. So many times. Moving forward, we have Okuwamon. That's what I'm going to start calling him, because doesn't, I don't want to get demonetized. Anyways, 7 to play normally, 2 to evolve, 6,000 DP. He says as an inheritable skill, your turn, when your Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, we gain plus 1 memory. So basically kind of like the MegaKabuterimon. Okuwamon actually does it a lot better in my opinion because you're going to be attacking your opponent's Digimon either way. So we'll be able to gain that extra memory instead of making sure our opponent has more Digimon rested. Now, something to note about both of those, I say this in every video they're in, they are not once per turn abilities, so they activate multiple different times. So if we're able to attack 3 times for whatever reason, that's plus 3 memory, which is a lot. Moving forward, we have Titamon. Now, something you can do in this spot, I have seen hybrid builds with Rest Tyrannomon If you wanted to play the Rust Tyrannomon, I will go through and show you. For the Rust Tyrannomon build, we would want to take this Togemon out and play the Tyrannomon instead, which is... I'll show you guys. I want you guys to at least know which one it is that we'll be using, which is this Tyrannomon here. Reveal the top 3, add 1 level 5 or Digimon card, 1 green tamer from among them to our hand, put the rest on bottom. So it allows us to search for the Taiga, whatever. And then the next up is we would change this MegaKabuterimon to Metal Tyrannomon, which doesn't really allow us to gain extra memory, but it allows us to play stuff for free. And I will get, or not free, but for cheaper. And I will show you the other cards whenever we get to it of what you would need to change. But Titamon would also need to be the Rust Tyrannomon here. So going off of that, Titamon, what he does is he's 10 to play normally, 2 to evolve, 12,000 DP, vanilla. So he's just big, he gets there, and that's what we kind of want here. We want something that's big because we want to be able to deal a lot of damage. That's all. That's all we're trying to do. Moving forward, we have Hercules Kabuterimon. He's a 12 to play normally, 3 to evolve, which is what we're going to be doing. 10,000 DP, which is really freaking low. I cannot stress that enough. It is super low. It is not great. However, he does have Pierce, so whenever he attacks a Digimon and deletes it, we check a security, or however many his security check is. But it's going to be 1 because we don't have a way to increase it. So we're deleting our opponent's Digimon and being able to grab a card out of their security. So it's 2 for 1, which is really good. Also, at the end of the attack, twice per turn, you can unsuspend him by reducing your memory by 3. And that's what makes the Okuwamon and the MegaKabuterimon so important and vital for him, is because we're gaining extra memory, and being able to gain extra memory means that we'll be able to use this ability a little bit more. So keep that in mind. Overall, it's an alright card. I wouldn't say he's super great because his power is so low. You always want the Agumon under him and the Kabuterimon under him, because otherwise he is not big at all. Like, with Kabuterimon, he can get out of hand, though, especially if you have another card that's later on down the line. But, yeah, I think if you don't have the Agumon or the Kabuterimon up under him, you're not doing very much when your opponent has a level 6 staring you down, because they can easily just attack your Kabuterimon back. So keep that in mind. It's one of those cards that you want to have power and you want to attack your opponent's Digimon as much as possible. Moving forward, we have a 4 of a Flower Cannon. Flower Cannon is one of the best green cards, if not the best green card that's been printed. 2 to play normally. Security effect, we suspend all of our opponent's Digimon without blocker. Main effect, we suspend one of our opponent's Digimon. Now, in the security effect, it slows down our opponent, doesn't allow them to kill us during that turn. The other ability allows us to tap down blockers, which means we can still swing at the blockers and go ahead and get them out of the way. Or we can force the attacks where we want the attacks, instead of just making our opponent block 1. So if we only have 1 attack, we can use the Flower Cannon to rest what we're trying to attack, or rest the blocker so we can attack what we're trying to get rid of. So Flower Cannon, super good card in my opinion. Definitely worth the 4 of. Next up, we have Dimension Scissors as a 2 of. It's 3 to play normally. The security effect adds it to our hand. The main effect is one of our Digimon gains the following effect. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, we unsuspend it. So this allows us to do Hercules Kabuterimon's twice per turn effect multiple different times as long as we're surviving. So Dimensional Scissors, I've done this in my Rust Tyrannomon deck. If you haven't watched it, like I said, the link to the entire playlist is down in the description. We're swinging for game in that deck with Dimensional Scissors, and you can do the same thing with this. Like, if your opponent has enough Digimon, you have Pierce, you just keep swinging and your opponent can't stop it. Finally, we have Mimi, not Miwa. 4 to play normally. Security effect puts it into play from security without paying the cost. At the start of our turn, our memory becomes 3 if it's less than 3, which is pretty cool. Secondly, during our main phase, if we have a level 5 or higher Digimon, we can suspend the Mimi to hatch a Digi-Egg to an empty space, in the breeding area, or move 1 level 3 or higher Digimon from the breeding area to the battle area. So this allows us to ramp our Digimon package up, so our rookies become draw spells, and our Mimi allows us to keep doing that if we have to. Mimi's really good. Now, again, like I said, if you want to play the Tyrannomon hybrid deck, you can always replace this Mimi with Taiga. Taiga allows our Tyrannomons to gain Pierce, which will be playing Tyrannomon, Metal Tyrannomon, and Rust Tyrannomon. And then when we Digivolve a Digimon into a Tyrannomon, or a Digimon with Tyrannomon in its name, we can rest Taiga to make it cost 1 less. So we'll be evolving for 1 here, and we'll be evolving for 1 here, and Rust Tyrannomon will allow us to evolve for 3 or less, because if we have multiple Taigas, we can rest all of them to activate it. So if you wanted to do the hybrid build, that's how I would do it. And of course, I believe I said that in the Rest Tyrannomon build as well. So if you wanted to do the hybrid, that's also an option along with the Rest Tyrannomon build if that's what you're looking for, or Hercules Kabuterimon. So I'm going to zoom out as always and go over the deck. The deck is kind of awkward. Like, all the spam strategies kind of have a hard matchup against it, just like it would with Rest Tyrannomon, because we're putting a big dude on the play. And if they're playing Rookie Rush or whatever, we're not only getting rid of their Digimon, but also dealing damage to them. So it slows them down tremendously. And it's very cost efficient. Green is really good at being able to deal with the spam strategies. So it also does well against Purple Rush. It does well against Piedmon. It does well against Blue Flood. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, like, overall the deck is fine. Weaknesses would be like Hercules Kabuterimon's power is really freaking low, man. Also, like, the cost is really efficient, sure, but the power is kind of low compared to where you want it. So if you do end up having to attack with a level 5 or a level 4, sometimes it kind of feels bad because they trade or lose to other level 5s or 4s respectively. So that always feels really bad. But overall, I did enjoy playing over the deck when I did play it. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bad about it. And I believe, minus the Agumon, you'd have to find something to replace it. There is a game that is out, and I don't know. There might be a link in the description for it. If there's not, I'm sorry, I couldn't find it. But there is a game that somebody has fan-made where you can play with everything that's in Japan Set 1 and the starter decks. And I believe that minus the Agumon, all this stuff is actually in that game. So keep that in mind. That is something that you can do. Like, if you were going to play it that way, I would say instead of the Agumon, just play the Titamon. I don't see a reason why not. Or you can play the Okuwamon. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to end this episode off here. And again, this is the last 1.0 episode. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment. Let me know how your deck is going, how you built your Hercules Kabuterimon deck. Or if you enjoyed it, let me know you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe, because every subscription helps me get out there so I can be able to get this content out more frequently. But yeah, until next time, guys, have a blessed one.